Chapter 20. The Demon You Created. In the super farm of the apocalypse. Slap. The sharp sound of a slap echoed as Uncle Nan's hand connected with Angus's face. Uncle Nan was trembling with rage, pointing a shaking finger at Angus. "How did I raise such an ungrateful brat like you?" Angus lowered his head, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. "Dad, can't you see the situation we're in? If we want to survive, we have to rely on ourselves." You. Uncle Nan clutched his chest, collapsing onto the bed. "Dad, I'm doing this for our survival. Don't blame me." Angus couldn't meet his father's eyes. He clenched his teeth and stepped out the door. 10 hours later. Morning. At the gates of Stardust Pharmaceuticals. Angus, wrapped in a military coat, his breath visible in the cold morning air, called out to the security guard at the entrance. "I need to see your boss. I have a big deal to discuss with him." The security guard looked Angus up and down. Since the disaster, he had seen countless people trying to get into Stardust Pharmaceuticals, each with their own desperate reasons. Angus was just another one of these people, so the guard didn't even bother to lift his head. "Who do you think you are? Get lost before I get angry. 15 hours ago, I ate a poisonous fruit. 13 hours ago, the hospital declared me critical and sent me home to die. My medical report is at the Central Hospital. You can check it any time," Angus said with a cold smile. "But here I am, standing in front of you. Do you know what that means?" The guard was stunned. "I'm the first person to survive after being poisoned." Angus grabbed the guard's tie, speaking each word slowly. "Now, do I qualify to see your boss?" The guard's eyes narrowed. If this were true, he couldn't afford to ignore it. "If you're lying, you'll regret it," the guard warned Angus before turning to his colleague. "You stay here. I'll take him to see Manager Jack." The two of them entered the company. 5 minutes later, for burly, cold-faced men hurried out of the lobby. The remaining guard recognized them as Jack's personal bodyguards. The leader was Yuna, a trusted confidant of Jack, unlike the rank-and-file employees. "Did anyone else see that guy come in?" Yuna asked coldly.
No.
"No," the guard stammered. "From now on, you will surrender all your communication devices. The company will arrange private accommodation for you. You are not to contact the outside world," Yuna said, his face expressionless. "If I find out you've tried to contact anyone, the consequences will be severe." The guard shivered, feeling he had just stumbled onto something earth-shattering. Back to Hiroshi. Hiroshi looked at Yuna and his men, unable to suppress a sneer. He had heard of Stardust Pharmaceuticals. In fact, everyone in South City had, but not in a good way. Stardust Pharmaceuticals had been in South City for almost 3 years. Their rise was anything but honorable. They had partnered with a respected local entrepreneur to start the business, using his connections to rapidly grow and dominate the city's medical supply market. But once they were successful, Manager Jack ousted the old entrepreneur, driving him out of the company. The shock of this betrayal caused the elderly man to suffer a heart attack, and he passed away soon after. Such unscrupulous behavior disgusted many, but it was a more recent scandal that truly tainted Stardust Pharmaceuticals' reputation. Last winter, during a severe flu outbreak, Stardust Pharmaceuticals announced they had run out of a key ingredient for their flu medication, causing production to halt. They then sold their remaining stock at 10 times the usual price. The city was in an uproar. People were outraged, but with Stardust Pharmaceuticals monopolizing the local medical supplies and external sources taking too long to arrive, they had no choice but to pay the exorbitant prices. Later, it was revealed that Stardust Pharmaceuticals had never run out of the ingredient. They had manufactured the shortage to inflate prices. The company made a fortune, but their reputation in South City plummeted. Bridge burning. Profit above all. This was how the people of South City viewed Stardust Pharmaceuticals. And now, Hiroshi faced this very company. Hiroshi's gaze turned cold. There was no way he would give up his precious crops, especially not to a company as black-hearted as Stardust Pharmaceuticals. If he trusted them, he would soon find himself enslaved, his value extracted without end. The medicine that cured him was a one-time thing. "I used the only dose on him. There's no more," Hiroshi said emotionlessly, patting Angus's shoulder. "Sorry to waste your trip." Is that so? Yuna smiled coldly. Looks like you need some convincing. He pulled out his phone and dialed a number in front of Hiroshi. You're at the farm, right? Break in and feed that little girl the poisonous fruits. Yuna looked up with a sinister grin. Let's see if you're still lying. At that moment, a fierce aura emanated from Hiroshi. His pupils contracted, his face contorted with rage, eyes burning with the intensity of a predator. Yuna, despite his ruthless nature, involuntarily took a step back. How could a person have such terrifying eyes? Why do you push me? Hiroshi ground his teeth audibly. I just wanted a quiet life with my sister in this apocalypse. Why do you keep disturbing it? Weakness is a crime, Yuna said after a moment of silence. You're right. Weakness is a crime. Hiroshi nodded, taking a deep breath. He leaned in close to Angus and, without breaking eye contact with Yuna, whispered, From today, I will become a demon. And remember, it's you who made me this way. Yuna, seeing this transformation in Hiroshi, felt a sudden unease. Meanwhile, at the farm gate, 8 burly men stood by 2 excavators. After receiving a call, they jumped into the machines, engines roaring to life. Kiko sat on a small stool by the gate, sighing in frustration. Kiko, 7 years old, liked to eat and watch TV. But now, the plate of strawberries before her remained untouched. The cartoons on TV failed to bring her joy. Without her brother, even the strawberries tasted bland. Cartoons weren't as exciting, and the strange robots at home couldn't cheer her up. A bunch of tin heads, nothing compared to her big brother. Kiko's true hobby was eating while being held by Hiroshi, watching TV in his arms. She didn't care about things, only about being with her brother. Since Hiroshi left, she had checked the clock 17 times. He still hadn't returned. She felt anxious, and the roar of engines at the gate only worsened her mood. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. She clenched her fists, covered her ears, and shouted, Enough! Benji, her dog, licked her leg, sensing her distress. Intrusion detected. Initiating counterattack, 2 combat robots stationed behind her announced in mechanical tones. They're bad guys, right? Kiko pointed at the gate. Can you stop them? I want to smash their heads. Command received. Adjusting tactics to neutralize intruders. Preparing to destroy intruder cranial structures, the robot's eyes glowed green, gun barrels extending from their hands.
Bang!
A gunshot rang out, and one of the intruders dropped to the ground. Per command, 1 intruder neutralized, the robot reported. Kiko covered her mouth, then nervously hugged Benji. I think I did something bad. Don't tell Big Brother, okay? He'll think I'm a violent child, but I'm really a cute little girl.